Hello everyone. So in this section we are going to cover the social issues of Vision IAS Monthly Magazine. We have already covered the previous sections. This is a monthly magazine of March 2025. Now let's start. So first is related to the judgment of Kerala High Court. So Kerala High Court had said that yes, because of violent content through movies and web series there is a problem. However, the creators have freedom of speech and expression, so there need to be a balance between the kind of content they are making. Still they have right to make this content because of freedom of speech and expression. Okay, nothing much can be asked from this part in prelims. Of course you need to know two three things. Freedom of speech and expression is not an absolute right. There are certain reasonable restrictions. On the other hand, for films or for cinema, there is a Cinematographic Act of 1952. CBFC, that is Central Board of Film Certification, provides certification. Understand, it is not censorship, it is certification. Certification means whatever you are going to create, you can create. We will give you certification according to your content. Censorship, on the other hand, means you cannot show this content. So there is a difference between these two. Next is related to a web series. So this web series was in news, that is Adolescents. So in a very simple sense, this web series highlight the risk of radicalization of our adolescent. Radicalization means they may be influenced by the radical ideology. Why it is more risky now? Because of digital exposure. In a very simple sense, they can access the digital content, and therefore it is a responsibility of parents and of society to make sure it does not happen. Next is related to changing institution of family. So this is based on a remark of Supreme Court. See, we believe in a concept of Vasudha Kutumbakam. That means entire world is our family. But what is happening is, because of changing nature of society, there are more and more nuclear family. Nuclear family basically means small family instead of a joint family. So that reflect that family values are eroding. Next is related to Beijing Declaration. So in 1995, this declaration was adopted. This is related to women empowerment. Why it was in news recently? Because this year it is completing 30 years. That's why it is important. So just remember, Beijing Declaration is related to women empowerment. Next is related to minimum dietary diversity. See, three terms are there. Minimum, that means least. Dietary diversity. Dietary diversity basically means diversity in your diet. Diversity basically means variety in your diet. So this is referred as MDD. So recently, new SDG indicator on MDD was adopted by UN Statistical Commission. Now, in a very simple sense, this says that your diet should have five or more component of food. Total eight component food is categorized in these eight component, and whenever you are having food, your diet should have at least five of these component. What are these five component? Milk, grain, legume, dairy product, flesh product, eggs, fruits, and vegetables. So if someone is having five or more varieties, then it will be considered as dietary diversity or variety. See, if the variety is less, it will lead to the problem of malnutrition, which is also known as hidden hunger. Next is related to World Happiness Report. So this report was published by Wellbeing Research Center at the Oxford University in partnership with UNSDSN, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. As per this report, Finland is on top position, India is on 118th position. Next is related to Swablumbini. So, the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has partnered with Niti Aayog to launch this initiative, Swablumbini. In a very simple sense, the objective is to promote women entrepreneurship. In that context, there is one more scheme. Just a second. In that context, there is one more scheme, Stand Up India. Stand Up India basically was launched to promote entrepreneurship, and the objective was to provide the assistance to the vulnerable section to start their own business. Which vulnerable section are covered? SC, ST, and women. Next is related to PM UA. What is UA? It basically focus on mentoring young authors. So in a very simple sense, the objective is to provide assistance to the young authors. Young, what is the definition of young as per this scheme? Basically, the author below the age of 30 years. Next is related to International Olympic Committee. So recently, Christy Covenantry became the first female president of International Olympic Committee. Now, this committee is the leading committee for conduction and organization of Olympic Games. The headquarters is in Lausanne in Switzerland. Now, Christy Covenantry is the first female to be elected as the president. She is from Zimbabwe. So this body basically oversee the Olympic movement. So these were the important current affairs section in the social issues. Thank you.